Hello and welcome to the Risk Assessors app. I'm Brendan, I'm the founder of the Risk Assessors, and I'll be taking you through this brief how-to video guide on all of the functions on the app. This is to ensure you get the most out of it and you, your teams and your business remains compliant. Let's get started. To access the app, just go to app.theriskassessors.com and this will bring you through to our main login page. You will also receive a link via email where you can access this page along with your personalized login details. If you wish to use the app on a smartphone or a tablet, you can click the Install App button at the bottom and follow the on-screen instructions. This will give you a shortcut and will give you offline support of the system. Close that for now. If you want to have a look at our main website, to have a look at any other services we provide, just click the link to our main site at the bottom of the page and that will take you through. If you forget your password, you can click the forgotten password and send yourself a link to reset your own password. Close that. As I am using this on a laptop, I'm going to press the Open in App button in the URL bar, and that will open the app on my home screen, which I can then just drag and drop into my main dock. Welcome to your homepage. After you first log in, this is what you will come through to. On the top left-hand side of the page is the Risk Assessors logo. This acts as the home page for the system if you want to return back to the main home page. The rest of the app functions can also be accessed through the sidebar. If we move along and click on the Profile Management button up here, you can just go through. This one, it explains whose profile it is. It allows you to reset your login details, and it will also allow you to add either users or super users to your profile of the system. There are slightly different access permissions between users and super users, but we will get to that later on in the guide. And at the bottom, there will just be a list of everyone that you have assigned access to your profile, where you can reset passwords and delete their permissions. If you scroll to the top and you click on the message button, this will bring you straight through to WhatsApp for a direct link straight to us. So whether you have any feedback, if you've got any questions, if you're having any difficulties, any queries, just drop us a message or give us a call. If we go back to the app and we go back to the home page, if we scroll down the home page, so a message from the Risk Assessors. This is just a message from us to you. This could include any updates or any changes to the system or any changes or new legislation that would be relevant to your business that's coming in. On the Today section, this is where your scheduled tasks will appear. I'll be taking you through schedules a little bit later on in this guide, so we'll come back to this. Carry on scrolling down. You can also have access to go straight to temperatures, go straight to complete forms, report an accident, an incident, or a food complaint. This how-to guide will be stored here. It won't be Rick Astley, although this is a banger, it will be this how-to guide. And you've also got our social media links here, our Instagram and our LinkedIn. If you don't follow us, give us a follow. So settings is where you can really input the requirements of your business. So if you go to the top and along the sidebar and select settings, you can add the suppliers and you can add the products and you can add the appliances of each of your sites on the settings page. So if you click add supplier, you can then select, or you can type in whatever you want to call it. You can then select what sites this supplier is applicable to. If it's applicable to all of them, you can just select all at the top. Through this page, you can also manage the supplier approval documentation element. So if you just choose file, this could be a BRCGS certificate, a food hygiene rating, or a SALSA certificate from all of your suppliers with the expiry dates there. So we're going to select the BRCGS certificate. You just then need to input the expiry date and then create supplier. I'll just show you a couple more. So we could do that. We'll select all sites. Next, we will go down to the food hygiene rating score. and this one's got an expiry date of the 1st of September. And I'll show you one more so I can show you the color coding. We'll select all sites. And then on this one, we'll go down to Salsa, but this one has expired on the 1st of July. So we can select that. So when you create a supplier, there you go. And these are all the suppliers that you would use within your business. If it appears green, then the certificate that you have uploaded is valid. If it appears amber, the certificate you uploaded is valid, but is due to expire within the month. And then if its certificate has expired, it will appear red. If you want to access or change anything in terms of suppliers, you can just go to the edit button. You can change the name. You can select whatever sites the supplier is applicable for. You can delete the current supplier approval certificate uploaded or download it, and then you can upload a new one and then click update supplier. For example, if you are no longer using a supplier, just click the little delete button there, and then you can delete that and your supplier list will remain current. To add products to the system, you click add product and you can call it whatever you want to call it, whatever products you're using within your business. You can then select whichever site that product is applicable for, or you can select all, and then you just create product. That's it. I'll show you one more. There you go. We'll select sites and we'll create product. And then to add appliances, this is fridges and freezers. You go to appliances, you click add appliance, and this could be whatever you want to call them, whether you number your fridges and freezers, whether you've got a chest freezer and an upright freezer, or whether you've got a big red fridge, for example, you can call it whatever you want. And then you select whichever site that name is applicable to, and then you say fridge or freezer. Simple as that. So we'll create appliance. We'll add a freezer in here just to show you as well. Let's call this one chest freezer. And we'll select all the sites just out of these, and we need to select freezer. Create appliance. In terms of the settings, if we do this first, and we'll come on to temperatures next, this will make the temperature recording element of the system work as quickly and easily as possible. Temperatures and due diligence records are one of the most important things that hospitality businesses need to do. So to access temperatures, just on your home page, you click go to temperatures. And then here you've got options to complete delivery checks, fridges and freezer temperatures, cooking and reheating, chilling and hot holding. So let's go through each one. So let's go through deliveries. Again, if you're a single site operator, your site will already be listed here. However, if you look after multiple sites, you can select the site which that's for. You then click suppliers, which the suppliers you have already inputted on the sections page will appear here. So you can select them. And again, similarly with products, the products you've inputted on your settings page will appear here as well. If you have any specials on, for example, you can then enter manually any ad hoc products that you're getting delivered. You would then put your initials in, and then you would go to the temperature bar, and then you would select what the temperature of the delivery is. So on this one, we have selected fridges down here, but you can also do frozen delivery as well. And then obviously all fresh deliveries need to be delivered between 0 and 8 degrees Celsius, which you can do there. There you go. We'll just assume that that's the delivery. You can leave any comments in the comments box. And then for all deliveries, it's not just about the temperatures, it's also about the condition of the packaging and how it arrives. So you can say whether it was accepted or rejected when it's delivered to site. If it's rejected, you would need to record a corrective action, which could be return to supplier. And then you can also upload any images to show what the state of that delivery was in. So you just go down and you record temperature, and then it's done. Let me show you the other temperatures. So you go to your fridges and freezers. You would then select the site you want to record the fridges and freezers for. So this is our chest freezer. which we've already inputted on the settings tab. And then you would slide that to whatever the correct temperature of that freezer is. And again, you can upload any pictures. You can leave any additional comments. And then you just go down and record temperature. And again, this is another one. So everything we've done in settings will appear under the temperature checks. You would then select that. And if it's outside of the required temperature range, which can be seen at the top, you would just need to record the corrective action. And there you go. So you go down, you record temperature, and that's it. So we'll go back to temperatures. We'll show you a cooking and reheating check. So again, you select the site, you select the product you wish to record. You would put your initials in to show who recorded that check. And again, anything under the required temperature will require you to record a corrective action. You can also upload a photo on any of the temperature checks. Let's just do a compliant one. And there you go, you record temperature. Go back to temperatures. We'll then go on to chilling. Again, you select the site. You select which product you want to do. So you might do a curry sauce, for example. You'd put the initials in. You would then say how you chilled this food down, whether it was in a blast chiller, in an ice bath, under running water, or at room temperature. Let's select blast chiller. You would then say the chilling duration. So all food being chilled should be chilled to below 20 degrees within an hour and a half. Following that, you can then transfer that food into your fridge or freezer. And there you go. So the end temperature could be, for example, 14 degrees. And at the end, you can leave a comment if you want to. Transferred to fridge. You can then upload any supporting evidence for that temperature check and then record temperature. So the last one we'll show you is hot holding. So just go to hot holding. You again select the site. Okay, you might want to do you are hot holding your chicken breast. You put the initials in, and again the temperature slider will show you what's compliant and what isn't compliant. Anything outside of the temperature range will require you to leave a corrective action. Let's leave it there for now. You can add comments, you can add pictures, then you record temperature. So say, for example, that's all of our temperatures done. We can go into the reporting page. You select the site you want to see, and then you select from a date range. It's currently set up to show you a week, but you can move this to as long or as short a duration as you want. You can then click download report, and that will download your temperature monitoring report, along with all the comments, all the corrective actions, all the photos you've uploaded, all the initials of people that recorded the temperatures. And there you go. So you can download the temperatures and view it like that. To go to forms, all you need to do is on the home page, click go to forms. Firstly, what you need to do is set up the templates of the forms you wish to complete. So you click on templates at the top. You would then select the site. So again, if you're a single site operation, these will just be here for you. And then you press create template. And then the template name, you could call this whatever you wanted to call it. So it might be a probe calibration check, it might be a cleaning schedule, fire alarm test, emergency light test, whatever you need to do. Just for the demo on this video, we're going to call it all answer types. And then you can select what sites this specific form will be applicable to. So on this one, you might want to enter your question here and you select the answer type. So on this one, I'll just show you what the question will be. This will be yes, no, non-applicable. And then that's the answer type I want it to be. You can make this a required question. So in terms of when you complete the form, you won't be able to save it unless you've completed that question on the form. And then you can also, for the yes, no, non-applicable answers, you can also say a corrective action is required when no is selected. So you can click on that one as well. We can add another question here. And then on this one, we can select, either a short answer text, a long answer text, a number, a drop-down select, a checkbox, a date, a time, a photograph, or a signature. So on this, let me just show you a number, for example. So this might be, for example, for a probe calibration, you'd have to record the temperature of what the probe is displaying. So if the question may be, here is a number. Yes, we'll add it as a required question. On our corrective actions, we can click that one. And you can also set a minimum and a maximum number value. So for example, the minimum might be 5 and the maximum might be 10. So any number recorded outside of those parameters, you'll be required to add a corrective action when you do the form. So let's add another question. We'll show you another one here. So in terms of drop downs and checkboxes, I'll just show you here. Yes, it's a required question. If yes, no, non-applicable isn't an option for you and your business, you can add another option here, and we can call that additional option. So for example, once the form template is completely completed, you can go down and you can create template. So on this one, I'm just going to create a form with all of the answer types, just so I can show you how to complete it. So I have now finished completing my form of the all answer types. So what you would need to do is go back into complete. You would then select the site you wish to complete it for, and then you would go to all answer types, or you can complete whatever you want to do. So this could be anything that you've created. So all answer types, and you press complete form. So for example, you then put your short answer in, you can put your long answer in. The little asterisks next to each question represent that it's a required question. So if you don't put anything in there, or you don't complete that question, it won't let you save it. It will let you save it as a draft, but it won't let you save it as a completed form. So again, in terms of the number, we've set the expected range of between 5 and 10. So anything we put outside of that will require a corrective action. It's absolutely fine. So from a drop down, we've got the normal yes, no, non-applicable, but we've also added in our typed additional option. And again, our yes, no, non-applicable, anything no, also requires a corrective action. Our checkboxes, you can select as many or as little as you want, including any typed additional options. The date, you can select today. The time, you'll be able to select whatever time this form was completed. You can also upload any photographs. And you will also be able to sign any forms as well, which will be much easier on a phone or a tablet. So on there, you can save the draft and come back to it later. And then to view any or to complete any draft forms, you just go to view all here, and you go back into the editing page. So you can select that one. So we can scroll down to the bottom and we can finally complete it and submit it. And then from there, to see any completed forms, you just go back onto the download button, and that will download all of the requirements and all of the questions in the forms, including signatures, pictures, times, dates, corrective actions, comments, anything like that. So if we go back to this page, they can also be deleted. So for example, if you don't need that form anymore or whatever, you can delete them here. Otherwise, all forms will be stored here. Setting schedules is a really helpful tool for businesses to say what needs to be completed and when does it need to be completed by, or within a certain time limit. So if you go back to your home page, under the Today page, these are where all of your schedules are stored, which will inform your team what needs to be completed and by when. So on this page, everything is color coded. It's either completed in green, it's either not started in black, it's either in progress as orange, or it's been missed as red. So anything, for example, that has been missed and it is currently red on the schedules, you will still be able to go in and complete these. That doesn't remove the opportunity for you to complete. Currently, we're looking at the entire Risk Assessors group, but you can, if you're a multi-site operation, select a certain site you wish to see how they're getting on with stuff. All of the schedules on the Today page you can click on, and it will take you directly to where you need to complete it. There you go, we just clicked on that one. We can record that temperature, and it will take us back to the Today page. We can have a look. Everything completed is in green. It gets crossed out and it goes to the bottom of the list. How you set up schedules, you go to the sidebar, you go to settings, you select schedules along the top, you click add schedule, and then we're just going to show you how to do the probe calibration test for the month. You select what site is relevant to do probe calibration tests. This is a form schedule, not a temperature schedule, so you can select form, but you can select temperatures in terms of deliveries, fridges and freezers, cooking and reheating, cooling or hot holding. So for example, you wanted to do fridge and freezers, you need to do that twice a day. Cooking and reheating, you might want to say you want to do that twice per service, so twice for lunch, twice for dinner, twice for breakfast, and then everything else will be done on an ad hoc basis. Hot holding, if you regularly hot hold food, then you can set that to, you want to do it every 2 hours throughout the entire day if you wanted to. But for example, this is a form requirement, and we are going to select our probe calibration form. There you go, so at the top. We're going to do this on a monthly basis. And just to show you specific date, we are going to say the 21st of each month, so I can show you that today. And then as you've got all day to do this, you can set the timings for all day. So 3 minutes past midnight until, there you go, 1:45 midnight the same day. And you need to do it once during this period. So if you go to the bottom and you create schedule, there's your schedule in terms of your monthly probe calibration. And everything else, for example, so say, for example, your operation, you don't have any emergency lights, you can then just delete that there, or you can edit it using the editing button. Let's delete that, and we'll show you. So if you go back to your home page, we can select the site we wish to do, and there you go, there's your probe calibration test. So it's not started yet, but it's not yet missed or overdue. So we can go click directly on that. We can select whatever the answer may be, ensuring that we do it properly. We then submit the form. There you go. So our probe calibration is done. To view any completed forms, you just go to forms, you go to view all, and you can see what's been done down here. And then you can search by form name, you can search by to and from date, all of those things. Similarly with temperature checks, you just download the report for the time period you want to see, and you click download, and there we go. That's how we do our schedules. To report an accident or an incident or a near miss, just go to the Report Incident tab, and then on there just select the main button right in the middle. From here, this will bring you through to the accidents, incidents, near miss report form. If you're a single site operation, your site will be listed here. However, if you have multiple sites, you'll need to select where the accident occurred. And then you just go through the form, completing it to the best of your knowledge. So the incident type, when it happened, what time it happened, the date, who is it reported by, about the injured person, if applicable, about the incident himself. So what happened, where was it, what was the injury type, what was the severity of the incident, and what was the body part affected. Under the riddle section, this is the reporting of injuries, diseases and dangerous occurrence regulation. That is if an accident or an incident has caused something really serious, like a fatality, or it has caused the injured person to be off for more than 7 days, affecting normal work duties. So I'll select that just to show you what it looks like on the View All tab. And any immediate actions taken. So was first aid given, the details of what first aid was given, if that's applicable, Was any emergency services contacted in terms of the ambulance or the fire brigade? Any witness information, if there is any, and any follow-up action, so any preventative measures to try and avoid it happening going forward, whether there's a risk assessment required, any additional notes. And at the bottom here, if you click this box, it will allow you to upload any supporting documents or evidence that will help with the accident investigation. So for the minute, let's just save the draft. If you need to do some of it but come back to it, that's where you would do it. So in terms of viewing all of our accidents and incident reports, you go back to the main accident page, you click on View All, and all of our accidents or incidents that have been submitted or have been saved in drafts will be stored here. So that little R next to the report ID shows that this is a RIDDOR reportable incident. So if that wasn't ticked, that wouldn't be there. So if you go back to the editing, this is one I did earlier. Only super users, to protect sort of private information, only the super users will have access to editing and downloading completed or submitted reports. So if we go back into it, we can scroll down here. We can change the RIDDOR to no. Then we can scroll down. I've already uploaded some supporting evidence, and then we can submit the report. So again, to view all completed reports, go back to View All. As you can see, the little R to represent a RIDDOR report or accident has now disappeared. But if you want to download the report, just click the little download button there, and that'll download the report for you. And this is the report from that incident, accident, or near miss with all the details that you've already put in. And then at the bottom here, if you wanted to review any of the supporting evidence, you just click that and it will bring you straight through to whatever evidence you've uploaded. Then that's it. I think the accidents need to be stored for a minimum of 5 years. These won't disappear or anything unless you go back into this and delete any reports. So you can delete them by clicking the little delete button there. To report a food complaint, just go to the Food Complaints tab on the home page. And you can either report an alleged food poisoning, an allergic reaction, or a foreign object complaint that you may receive. So I'm going to show you the alleged food poisoning. So you just need to go through, and I'll do this afterwards, but you need to go through just making sure you fill out the entire report to the best of your knowledge. So whether that's about the site details, about the person making the complaint to the site, how you received the notification, the date of notification, the affected person, which may be different from the person making the complaint, all their contact details, what they experienced in terms of vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, stomach cramps, the start and end date and time, and the severity, whether that be mild, moderate, or severe. You would then go down to about the food, complete as much detail as you can. Any other details, whether any complaints around the same sort of time, just go through it's either yes or no. Following the investigation, you can just go through this and upload your details on your findings. You can also select this box here and you can attach any sort of supporting evidence that will help in the investigation, which may be supplier approval certificates or that may be temperature checks, anything like that. And at the bottom here is just GDPR regulations. This, if you tick this, this is to ensure that if you pass this report over to us at the Risk Assessors, then we can assist you in investigating any complaints you may receive. So for example, if you wanted to create this and then come back to it, you just save the draft. And then all completed food complaint reports can be seen under the View All tab. So I have now completed the alleged food poisoning report we set up earlier. So if you go back into there to edit that, again, similarly to accidents and incidents, only super users will have access to edit and download finished reports. That is again to protect the private information of the person complaining. So if we click that button, I've inputted all the details. Then we scroll down to the bottom and then we can submit that complaint. So any completed or any saved as drafts can be completed in the View All section. And then these can be downloaded by super users by clicking the download button, and that will appear there. So again, this is all the information you've just inputted in terms of the information you've set up on the complaint report. And again, if you wanted to view any attaching evidence, you can then click on that. And then also similarly at the bottom here, this is confirmed that you have been given GDPR consent to share with us. So similarly with the accidents and incidents and the food complaints, if you guys need a hand investigating this, or you don't know quite where to go, if you receive a complaint or an accident does occur at one of your sites, just give us a shout, give us a call, drop us a message through WhatsApp, and we'll be able to help you out with it. That brings us to the end of this how-to video guide. Thank you for choosing the Risk Assessors as your compliance partner. We hope that this guide has helped you simplify and more effectively manage compliance within your business. We're always developing further functions on the app, so make sure you watch this space. Should you have any questions, queries, need any further support, or have any feedback for us, we'd love to hear from you. Our contact details are on screen now. Thanks again for choosing the Risk Assessors. We'll see you in the app, and remember, safety never sleeps.